All right, guys. So we're taking a look here on ES here on the 6 hour time frame. It is December 26th. It is 11:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The market is still open. Very much of what I expected to happen this week. A very slow grind to the upside. The volatility and the volume is very, very low today, as expected. It's basically end of the year. There's like 3 or 4 trading days left until 2024. So I don't expect much to happen for the rest of the year. I don't expect much movement to happen for the rest of the year, and I don't expect to take any trades until the new year, simply because the volume is so low and there's not much volatility, and I don't like to trade when there's not any volatility because you can't really make money. So as expected, though, we did get a reversal to the upside on the 6 hour, right? We got that higher high on Friday, followed by a lower high. And very likely, like I said, the rejection of the previous higher low was perfect. And with that, we got a beautiful continuation to the upside, creating a higher high with the bullish engulfing. And now for the basically majority of the day today, we're getting some follow through, and we are most likely going to hit 482,750. Guaranteed. That's a weekly level on ES. 482,750 is the target. Obviously, if I could have got into a trade at 9 o'clock last night on options, that would have been the perfect time. But unfortunately, market is closed. You can't do anything about that. So that would have been a good move. That would have been a very good move. You could have got in right at 48.09, and you could have taken profits at 48.27, which would have been a nice trade. But unfortunately, the market opened up way up here today, and that's such a small trade to get in at 48.20. And then on top of that, you have such slow movement to the upside that by the time it gets to your target, it's going to eat away your premium because of the theta decay. So for that reason, I just felt it was best to sit out. But this was a very easy trade anyone could have taken. It wasn't hard. Pretty easy to spot, in my opinion. Now on the daily time frame as well, as mentioned, we were in an uptrend. We were never in a downtrend, and we actually kind of got some. We got a lower high for the first time on Thursday, followed by another green candle, but it wasn't a higher high, so this could still reverse to the downside and create a higher low. But instead today, it decided to push to the upside, and it looks like it's going to give us a higher high, confirming that we are still in an uptrend on the daily. So taking calls at this point is the only thing I'm really interested in until we get some kind of trend change confirmation on the daily or the weekly. That's what I'd be looking for. So on the daily, we're still in an uptrend. On the 6 hour, we are definitely in an uptrend as well. And once we hit 482,750, I do expect us to have a very hard stop. And what I could potentially see tomorrow is I could see a pullback back down to 4809 with a lower high being created in that area, or at least a rejection of that area. And then tomorrow we might get a push and a breakthrough past 48,750 with another higher high, and maybe we can hit 485,475 by the end of the year. That could be a possibility for sure. But on SPY today, I'll quickly switch over to SPY. On SPY on the 1 hour time frame, very, very slow price action. This is the whole day right here. We started at basically 474, and we haven't even moved a full $2 today yet. So super, super low volatility. But a really good trade. You basically could have got in with my strategy, you could have got into longs right at 730. Right at 730. I mean, on Friday, we were in a downtrend on the 1 hour. You can clearly see higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, like very nice trend onto the downside. But today, we got a lower high with the bullish engulfing and a higher high breaking the trend. And you could basically have gotten in right when this candle closed at 730. Now, I didn't take any trades. As I mentioned, the volatility was super low, but you could have definitely got in right when this candle closed. So 474.88, you could have got in for a trade. And my target would have been 482,750 on the futures. So as of right now, I would still be holding. That would have been my target, 482,750 on the futures. So, that could have realistically been like a full $1 move you could have gotten, but it would have taken like basically 5-6 hours you would have had to have held that trade for like a good 5 hours for you to actually hit your take profit. And that's not something I was just really interested in doing for only a $1 move. Not really interested in that. But that was a definite trade that you could have taken. The 50-minute time frame looked pretty good as well. You could have got into a trade for sure. Like I said, at 7:30, that would have been a great time to get in. The 50-minute time frame kind of looked very sideways for the most part, but it did end up holding its structure after around 9 a.m. It was very clear that we were going up, and at that point, if you weren't already in the calls, there wasn't much point to get in them at that point. You're basically just chasing the trade at that point. You want to get in early, not late. So with that being said, that trade was realistically the only one that I would have taken right at 7:30. You get in for about 47488. Your take profit is 47559 or 482750 on the futures. One or the other. Both are good. So should have been your take profit if you did take that trade. Now with tomorrow, because we've had several green candles in a row now, I do expect us to either get a pullback by the end of the day today or a pullback first thing tomorrow morning, giving us a lower high. Provided we get some continuation and the volatility is there, I may or may not get into a trade, but I do not think the volatility or the volume is going to be present for the rest of the year. So I probably will not trade, but we'll have to wait and see. With that being said, I don't think there's much else to discuss. We can take a look at QQQ as well. We'll see what's going on there. QQQ, very similar price action. QQQ was in a downtrend all day on Friday in the 1 hour. It decided to reverse things today, creating a higher high on the 1 hour time frame and a lower high with the bullish engulfing. Pulled back, made a lower high, and then continued to the upside for the rest of the day. QQQ is right now at all-time highs. It's never been in this area before. 410, 56 is the highest we went so far, and that's the highest we've ever been. So QQQ is in new territory, and we don't really know where it can go at this point. So we do have to be very cautious of taking trades because, we are in this area where there is a lot of resistance and things can reverse on us very quickly. So being very cautious is inevitable, and taking any swing trades at this point is something that I would very much be against because we are, I would say, at the top of the range, and a pullback at this point is necessary due to all of the massive buying pressure that we've had in the last 8 weeks. Just to prove my point, if we go to ES on the weekly time frame, this is something I've never even seen before. We haven't had a pullback on the weekly time frame since October. For 8 weeks, we haven't had a pullback. Like, this is extremely overdue for a pullback. We need one, and I honestly am not going to take any swing trades until we get a pullback. And I would like to see a pullback come all the way down to at least 4709. That's where I would like us to come down to at the minimum before I consider taking any pullbacks. 4709 or at least 4622. That's also a great area for a pullback. Once we get that, then for sure I'll be looking at taking some swing trades. But until then, everything is just going to be scalps and day trades. Nothing more than a day that I'm going to be holding it for. So with that being said, guys, I hope this video helped out, and I hope this gave you some insight on what to expect in the coming days and potentially the rest of the year. I am bullish going to the end of the year, and I am going to be remaining that way until I see some kind of trend change confirmation on the 6-hour, daily, weekly, even the 1 hour on SPY. I am bullish going into the end of the year. So I do hope maybe we can get a nice trade by the end of the trading week. But if not, it is what it is. The volume is low. The volatility is low. You can easily just tell here by the price action. This is your typical trading day right here. This is another typical trading day right there. The volume on average on these days is around 610,000, 564,000, 731, 749, 1.1 million. Today, the volume has only been 243 and 124. So the volume is significantly less, even on the daily. Look at that. On the daily, our typical volume is 1.6 million, 1.6 million, 1.2 million. Today, only 418,000. So you can easily just tell the volume is way below average. So with that being said, you can't really expect much price movement. So because of that, as an options trader, it doesn't really make sense for you to engage without the volatility. So I hope that video helped out, guys, and I'll make a video tomorrow, and I'll see you soon.